not against big. I'm against dumb. So, but if you have an institution that is really, really big and it does something dumb, it hurts a lot of people. Nobody ever goes to jail, but that's a separate story.
Hey guys, it's DJ Wonder Chrissy, and it's a beautiful Friday here today. A little chilly. Going to be a high of maybe 70 here today in the northern Illinois area. But today I want to talk about CBMS, commercial-backed mortgage securities. It's been hitting the news pretty hard across the United States that companies have been defaulting in the last week, and it's going to be happening more and more this year. And right now it's happening drastically in San Francisco. Westfield Partners, I believe, or the people that run the Westfield Malls, just handed back the keys to the mall in downtown San Francisco, where Nordstroms at, and a bunch of other stores that have closed up recently. So that's a big one. And then 2 hotels. One of them was like $275 million that they defaulted on their loan and gave the keys back to the bank. And then there was a Park 555 hotel or something like that. But I'm here to tell you, it's just not happening somewhere else. Just the last couple of days, I've seen, it's been happening for years around here in different ways, and we'll talk about that. But most recently, what I've seen is, companies are tearing down buildings. Yeah, believe that. Just came out this week, AJ Gallagher. I don't know if you've heard of them. They sponsor the Chicago Cubs. I got a Cubs shirt on. I can't really see it too well with the angle there, but they're a big risk management / insurance company, and they're located in Rolling Meadows, and they just moved from Itasca to Rolling Meadows in the last couple of years. And last year they bought an office building that was right next to their headquarters for $13 million. Well, this week they came out and they just said that they've decided to tear this building down. It's 270,000 feet of office space. It's like a 12 story building, and they're going to tear it down. Okay, they bought it. They paid $13 million for it, which I guess is not too bad of a price. And then, like 2 blocks away, 1600 Gulf Road, once again in Rolling Meadows, there's a beautiful office building there, and it's got 256,000 square feet of office space, and it's been there for a real long time. It's adjacent to, I think it's a Walmart or Sam's Club right there at the intersection of Gulf and Algonquin roads. Gulf and Algonquin, big busy intersection right there. Rolling Meadows, but that owner is defaulting on only a $23 million mortgage. So once again, that's like a 10, 12 story office building, beautiful building. It's been there for probably since the 80s and maybe the late 70s. It's a beautiful building, but they're turning in the keys. And I got some other, around here, what's been happening too is, it hasn't been happening that drastically around here, but I see it picking up. There was a 6-story office building. I'll show a picture here of the site, close to my favorite restaurant, which is Hooters. Best place for hot wings, folks, is in Illinois is Hooters. So anyway, close to there, like within half a block of there used to be a 5-6-story office building, and last year they just decided to tear it down. Now it's an empty lot. It's, adjacent to Woodfield Mall there in Schaumburg, and it's just an empty lot now sitting there. So, stuff like that's been happening. Also, as you get towards, Glenview, I've been seeing a lot of office buildings. They don't tear them down, they just gut them and turn them into storage facilities. I got a couple of pictures of that going on too over in Glenview. I mean, one of them is like a beautiful office building that was, being used for a while, and it's right across from ABT. If you guys are from Chicago area, ABT is one of the largest appliance sellers in the Midwest, if not the biggest. But right across from them, there was a beautiful 2-story office building, and a couple of years ago, it was like Life Source Blood Bank was out of there. They had some headquarters in there, and they moved and went somewhere else, and they turned this into like a storage facility. So we've been seeing that happen in the Chicago area. And another one, Schaumburg Rolling Meadows seems to be around here a really big area for commercial mortgages and things going on with buildings. There's an office park on Algonquin Road, across from the old Motorola property, called Atrium Center. And they basically tore that half of it down about a year ago, and they're putting up a large-scale, upscale apartment building complete with parking garage, like a 4-story parking garage. I think I got some video of that here too. But anyway, I hear too now the other half of it they're looking to sell, and they may turn that into a warehouse. So there you go. I mean, and those office buildings have been around for quite a few years. I mean, it's not like they just yesterday, but some of these investors, it doesn't matter how old the property is, they just leverage it as much as they can. And you see what's happening is, just as the value of homes is starting to decrease, the value of rentals and also the value of properties, commercial properties, is starting to deflate also. Now, the value of a commercial property is based on the value of the property and also the income or the rental value that it can bring in. So what's happening with like these office buildings with people working from home and stuff, there's not a lot of need for office space, and some of them are going, 60-70% occupancy, and that other 40% is draining their value. And see what happens with the commercial backed mortgages, every 5 to 7 years they have to be refinanced. So say like 7 years ago, you had $100 million office building, and you haven't really been paying a lot on that, or just paying the minimum or what have you. And now, it's valued at 60 or 70 million. And if you don't have that equity, the bank's not going to be able to refinance that, or have a hard time finding someone to refinance it for you. So there you go. There's the crux of the problem. And as we roll towards the end of this year and next year, and actually in the next month or two, you're going to see banks starting to go under because of this. The regional banks have a huge exposure to commercial backed mortgages because they're the ones that are in your community making those loans. So, this is, part of the reason our banks are in trouble. So, they've got a lot of these loans on their books, and it's not turning out well. So there you go, commercial backed mortgages. I got to talk about CD rates again. We know yesterday or day before, I think it was the day before, the Fed took a pause, which is good for the banks, right? Because if they keep raising those rates, it's really putting the banks into a vice and causing their securities or their commercial-backed mortgages to also have keep going lower and lower in value. But anyway, the Fed decided to do a pause for this month, and they're probably going to raise it another 2 times before the end of the year, according to Jerome Powell. But hey, I just got some new 30-day CDs from our friends at Charles Schwab. I always bring that up. I'll give you an update on the rates. 30-day was 5.3 APY. The 90-day was 5.45, and the 1 year was 5.35. So those rates are actually higher than the Fed rate right now. The Fed rate is 5.25. So, some of these banks are coming through, and there's not a lot of risk. It's you gotta check them out, and that's why I recommend using WeissRatings.com to check out banks, insurance companies, and credit unions. Because I was just out there today looking at their website, and there are a lot of banks out there that are having problems, like over 700 banks. That doesn't include the credit unions, that are very lowly rated as a D or E. And there was actually one bank I came across which was called United Center Bank in south side of Chicago on South Pulaski, and they were rated, I believe, very low. And I was looking at their specs. They had a 25% default of loans. Their loan book was coming back with a 25% delinquency rate, or actually default rate, not necessarily delinquency, default rate, which, that's part of the reason they were rated so low. Figure it out. So this website, Weiss, WEISS ratings.com, has got a wealth of information out there. They just don't do a rating. They give you the rating, and they also give you the supporting detail on why they're rating a bank the way that they do. And I was just surprised that, through the Midwest, there's a lot of, especially Wisconsin. I was surprised Wisconsin's got a lot of banks in trouble. So give it a look. It's a great website. It's a great tool to use as you're, if you're an investor like I am, and you're trying to make some investments and doing CDs with banks and so forth through Charles Schwab, Fidelity, or whoever it is you're using with your brokerage account. That's what I'm doing. I have some funds in a brokerage account, and I'm farming it out to various banks for doing some CDs. And right now it's 30-day CDs, as it's been for the last year and a half, and we'll see how it goes. I might ramp it up to maybe some 90-day CDs as we move forward here. But right now, since the Fed's been raising rates on a monthly basis, I'm just holding still with my money and going with the 30-day CDs and taking the interest and running, folks. 5%'s not bad considering what our stock market's been doing the last couple of months. And I don't need the risk of the stock market, so. But then again, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just telling you what I am doing. So for myself, hey, check out all the other videos. We've been doing some car shows this week. Busy with car shows. Doing some foodie stuff too. Check that out. Been doing some long versions, some short versions. So check out both of those tabs on YouTube. Thanks for watching. And if you're a first-time viewer, hey, subscribe. We got some awesome content, and we bring it to you on a regular basis. So from DJ Wonder Chrissy to you, keep your money invested and keep making money, because that's what makes you rich. Okay, over and out. See ya.